Legislature in focus. Correspondent reveals National Assembly in 2023. Customs surpasses 2023 revenue target. Plus, Traditional Rulers Amendment Bill scales first reading at Rivers State Assembly. Hello and welcome to Parliamentary News. My name is Ene Ojonuba. Many thanks for joining us. The Parliament unarguably plays a vital role in stabilizing the polity in representative democracies across the globe. In Nigeria, for instance, the arm of government has been living up to its constitutional responsibilities since the return of democracy in the country 24 years ago. Chukwunonso Wabueze in this report examines the performance of the legislature in 2023.
The legislature's constitutional mandate of lawmaking, representation as well as oversight of agencies of the other two arms of government, the executive and the judiciary, has since 1999 been deepening democratic principles in Nigeria. The 10th National Assembly, though inaugurated halfway into 2023, maintained this trajectory, culminating in the adoption of numerous motions and resolutions as well as passage of bills, which includes but not limited to passage of the 2024 Appropriation Bill, the accelerated passage of the amended 2023 Appropriation Act, as well as the 2023 Supplementary Appropriation Act, channeled to the provision of additional palliatives to cushion the effects of fuel subsidy removal, provision of funding for wage award to civil servants, cash transfer to the most vulnerable, in addition to investment in infrastructure, amongst other legislations. Investigative hearings, screening and confirmation of appointees of the President, including ministers, service chiefs, heads, board members and management team of various federal government agencies, and approval of 11 new justices to serve at the nation's apex court were other milestones recorded by the legislature in 2023.
This is something very important, and a lot of issues that are born in respect of international and multilateral relationships comes to the Senate and it was dealt with. And also most of the bills and motions that were passed during the just 6 months of our tenure, I think is very important development.
In terms of discharging our legislative duties accordingly, I would say it's quite excellent.
So far, the House has fared well under this legislative year, and the Speaker is really doing everything he can to make sure that we give Nigerians something that they deserve, something that is worthwhile.
This 10th Assembly has a lot to do for this country. All we need is patience and the support and the understanding of the populace.
These successes notwithstanding, expectations are however high in the new year as the 10th National Assembly works towards the realization of its 8-point legislative agenda.
With the opinion and desire of the executive, and with the Senate, there is focus, stable, and desiring to stand for Nigerians. I believe that the combination will be excellent.
We urge the critical stakeholders of this country, political leaders, civil society organizations, and security agencies to collaborate with the 10th Assembly by bringing out some very important issues that need to be addressed so that we can achieve a successful assembly.
We have already blended with our ranking colleagues, and going forward by 2024, a lot will be done.
You see the quality of people we have in the National Assembly. You see people speaking out, people criticizing objectively the budgets and making strong input. That is the way a National Assembly should function. So I see us, riding on a greater momentum in the next coming year.
The cordial relationship between the legislature and the executive in 2023, many believe, is unprecedented and should be encouraged without undermining the principles of separation of power and independence of each arm of government. Chukwunonso Wabueze, NTA News.
The Nigeria Customs Service has surpassed its 2023 revenue target by 21.4% as it generated 3.2 trillion naira. The Comptroller General of the Service, Adewale Adeniyi, at a news conference in Abuja emphasized that customs will strategically implement policies that will enable it to realize the 2024 target of more than 5 trillion naira. Kunle Adeyeye reports.
The service contended with issues like smuggling and lower transaction volume, which led to a shortfall of 532 billion naira in the first half of the year, but the new policy direction of the federal government in the last two quarters of 2023 bathed the breaking success. The chief custodian of Nigerian borders remarked that officers and men of the Nigeria Customs Service remained uncompromising in the fight against smuggling and illicit trade by making 3,806 seizures with a duty paid value of more than 16 billion naira in 2023 and achieved 52 convictions.
Recording a total revenue collection of 3,206,603,417,315 naira 47 kobo was the highest in the history of Nigeria Customs Service, and in some of the months we also achieved the highest monthly collections.
Projecting into year 2024, he itemized strict alignment with government policy direction, supporting the dynamics of Africa Continental Free Trade Agreements, modernizing customs operations, effective border management by leveraging the Nigeria Customs Service Act, human capital development, and extensive consultations as major antidotes to achieve its targets. Kunle Adeyeye, NTA News.
About 2,000 people from Biu, Kwayakusa, Bao, and Shani Federal Constituency in Benue State have benefited from more than 200 million grants of the Small and Medium Enterprise Development Agency of Nigeria, SMEDAN, and the Federal College of Horticulture, Dadin Kowa, and Gombe States. The federal government intervention to boost employment, enterprise growth, industrial and agro-allied development was facilitated by federal lawmaker Mukhtar Betera Aliyu. Amina Seidu reports.
The federal government's conditional grant scheme and other viable initiatives of SMEDAN are meant to empower small business holders by improving access to finance and addressing unemployment. The federal lawmaker Mukhtar Betera Aliyu is taking advantage of SMEDAN to enhance micro, small and medium enterprises in his constituency. This is to reduce poverty in the constituency and empower constituents. Indeed, various initiatives of the federal government schemes are being leveraged by deserving individuals and enterprises in Biu, Kwayakusar, Bayo and Shani with the support of the lawmaker, contributing meaningfully to the constituency and the nation's prosperity. This time, SMEDAN distributed grants of 100,000 naira each to thousands of people in the constituency. In Biu local government alone, 1,054 beneficiaries from women, youth groups, Dapchi and Fisheries Forum, among others, got 100,000 naira each.
We collected your names last year. Today, all of you in this list will be given startup grants.
APC party ward chairmen in the 4 council area numbering 42 all got brand new tricycles, while local government executives and stakeholders in the local government got empowered, ranging from 5 to 100,000 naira each.
We want to thank Honorable Betara for this gesture. We are so happy with his contribution towards empowering us.
Thank you, Betara. We appreciate your efforts. Emir of Biu, May Mustafa Umar Mustafa, commended the lawmaker for the gesture, assuring that the grant will assist the beneficiaries to start up their businesses. Amina Saidu, NTA News.
The Rivers State House of Assembly at its 90th legislative sitting has given first reading to a bill which seeks to amend the Rivers State Traditional Rulers Law No. 4 of 2015. Assembly correspondent Nkiru Onyejishi has details of these and other proceedings at plenary.
Presenting the bill sponsored by the majority leader, Major Jack noted that the bill seeks to amend some sections of the principal law and when passed will make the traditional rulers' law be in tune with current realities.
Mr. Speaker, this bill has 3 clauses. Mr. Speaker, when passed into law, this bill may be cited as the River State Traditional Rulers Amendment Bill 2024.
In the same vein, the House gave first reading to a bill that seeks to repeal the River State Advertisement and Use of State-Owned Property Prohibition Law No. 7 of 2022. The bill was sponsored and presented by the member representing Port Harcourt Constituency 2, Tony Smart Adoki.
A bill for a law to repeal the River State Advertisement and Use of State-Owned Property Prohibition Law No. 7 of 2022. Mr. Speaker, this bill have 2 clauses that, if passed, may be cited as the River State Advertisement and Use of State-Owned Property Prohibition Repeal Bill No. 1 of 2024.
Speaker Martin Amehule cited relevant sections of the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as altered that empowers the State House of Assembly to receive reports of the audited account of the state. He urged the House Committee on Public Accounts to investigate while the Auditor General of the state has not submitted the 2022 audited account of the state to the House.
Is it in the opinion of the House that we give the Public Accounts Committee additional time for them to give us their final report for 2022? So those in favor that we should give them extended time should please say ayes. Aye. Against, say nay. The ayes have it. So the Public Accounts Committee of this House, you are hereby given 3 weeks. You are hereby given 3 weeks to submit an updated report of the audited accounts of River State for 2022.
The House unanimously agreed to write to the governor to notify him of the delay in presenting the medium-term expenditure framework and the 2024 appropriation bill to the House in line with the 1999 Constitution as amended. Nkiru Onyejesi, NTA News.
The National Assembly is set to commence constitution review and local government autonomy tops the agenda. To throw more light on this is Senator Iya Abbas, a former Speaker at Adamawa State House of Assembly and now Senator representing Adamawa Central. He spoke with NTA Parliament on why the bill failed to get the required numbers of the state assemblies for passage.
There was an amendment for financial autonomy and administrative autonomy for the local government. We say yes. We say as forum of speakers, you can take one at one time and leave the other one. If you want to make them financial autonomy, take financial autonomy first. Then later you bring another administrative autonomy. But if you want to take administrative, you take it and then later you bring financial. But you can't take the both aspect and at the same time deny State Assembly a role in running the local government, which was given to them constitutionally. So one thing that came up at that time was after the 2 amendments, financial autonomy and administrative autonomy, under the financial autonomy, there was a clause that was made, the constitutional clause that was made that the state government, the state assembly, will determine how much will be given for the basic education, for teachers in basic education, that means the primary and secondary school, while the federal government will also bring a little amount on the table so that the teachers will be independent. Now, this is not the problem. The problem is the state government, the state assembly will tell me how many % of the state allocation will go in that way, and how many % of local government allocation will go in that way. Then the federal government will now bring their own. But why the bond of quotation was this is put under the local government autonomy. First. Secondly, the National Assembly now said no law or bill that will determine, direct, organize, supervise that money that will be given to the federal government from state and local government and federal government except the law of National Assembly. We said no. We say we can't give you our money, and then you say no law to supervise direct. And I'll give you an instance, a village in my place, even in state government, I find it difficult to supervise teachers. You realize, you see a school that has about 20, 30 teachers, you now see one teacher at a time or two. People don't want to go in a village, there's no road, no access road, nobody supervises them. You are now even moving from state to give the federal government the powers to supervise teachers or teaching. And then the payment will come from federal government. So federal government will pay, the people will not even go to school to teach. We said no, that aspect of it should be given the local government, to the local government and the state to supervise, discipline. But you say everything will have to be done by a bill and a law that is being created by the National Assembly. So what is our role in the Constitution? What's the role of the State Assembly in the Constitution? We said remove this and present it. And then everybody will buy. Even if you're not getting the two, you get one at that time.
You are watching the news on NTA Parliament. Still to come, CBN appoints new chief executives for 3 banks. With about 50 years of existence, the Sir Abubakar Tafawa Balewa Housing Estate has now become a host to the Nigerian Television Authority office in Bauchi State. Despite this historic position of the estate in remembering laudable contributions of the late Nigerian Prime Minister, the road to the estate has remained in poor condition. In this report, Abdullahi Aminu sampled the opinions of residents of the community.
This is the main road linking to a historic Abubakar Tafawa Balewa estate in Bauchi Metropolis, built in 1978. Named to immortalize the former Prime Minister, the estate is now a host to the Nigerian Television Authority office in Bauchi State. The challenge is of the access roads that has prompted the state government to embark on the renovation work, which started in the last 8 years but later abandoned.
The distance between where the construction stopped and where we are asking for is not up to half kilometer.
So we will call on government to please extend the road to the people that are beyond Tafawa Balewa Housing Estate for the benefit of all.
It is, however, in line with the promise made by the present administration in the state that the reconstruction work has resumed.
We are very delightful and grateful for this wonderful job that the Executive Governor of Bauchi State, Senator Bala Abdulkadir Muhammad, is doing in our area.
Seeing the road atmosphere beyond the stoppage point of the project is worrisome, including the entrance of the Nigerian Television Authority and Government Comprehensive Day Secondary School alongside other communities in the area.
Appeal to government to actually extend the road project to some of the few public institutions that we have off there.
Now that the reconstruction work continued, the hope of the people is for the government to ensure its total rehabilitation for an improved socio-economic and security to be realized. In Bauchi, Abdullahi Aminu, NTA News.
Water, they say, is life. However, having access to clean and safe drinking water for all remains a Herculean task to the authorities responsible for its provision. In Dutse, the capital of Jigawa State, the news of the Greater Dutse Water Project that the state and the federal government are planning to commence soon is coming as a glad tiding for the residents. Muhammad Musa Askira felt the pulse of the residents on the matter.
Dutse is the Jigawa seat of power, with a total landmass of 1,089 square kilometers, housing a population of about 432,000, according to the National Population Commission's 2022 projection. Like many other cities in Nigeria, residents of Dutse are also facing challenges of water scarcity, with only a slim percentage of the population maybe having access to potable water. NTA News crew tours around the city revealed that most parts of the city rely on vendors for the supply of the water, mostly considered unclean for drinking. Most of the vendors fetch their water from shallow boreholes dug by individuals for commercial purposes without minding the safety and the health of the consumers.
We appreciate what Jigawa State government and federal government are planning to do to have a clean water in Jigawa State and Dutse local government.
We hope both the federal and state government will provide to us a potable drinking water. I haven't gone to school today because I have to fetch water. We suffer when looking for water. We don't go to school.
With these issues on the ground, therefore, a need for a centralized clean water supply for the residents in the city for healthy life and sanitation cannot be overemphasized. Though the Greater Dutse Water Project defied an attempt by previous administrations to implement it, the passion, zeal and commitment demonstrated by both states and the federal governments indicate that only a matter of time until the project is implemented.
Greater Dutse Water Supply Project is in the line item of Federal Ministry of Water Resources budget. Together, we are going to make Greater Dutse Water Supply a reality, inshallah.
Most communities at the outskirts of the main city of Dutse depends on hand pump and tube wells for water supply. Stakeholders consider as unhygienic, and this underscores the need for the Greater Jigawa Water Project to be implemented on time so that people will have a clean water supply that will impact on their lives positively. From Dutse, Muhammad Musa Askira, NTA News.
And now to Maiduguri, where commuters are still euphoric by the government's recent deployment of 100 cute and sleeky electronically charged vehicles for commuting, environmental preservation, and a deliberate move to mitigate the impact of fuel subsidy removal, with its attendant consequences among Nigerians. The move is seen by observers as another plus for the Benue state government for being the first state in Nigeria to ever put such types of vehicles for use for commuting purposes. Fatima Issa explores the cosmopolitan city to bring us insight into this noteworthy development.
Electricity, a versatile resource, is now harnessed in Maiduguri to power vehicles, offering a cost-effective and easily maintainable alternative. We sought answers from Gremazan Nakyari, the General Manager of Borno Express Transport Corporation, on the motivation behind this laudable initiative.
Technology has been advancing because in those days, only fossil fuels were used for transportation and all aspects of engineering. But now, a lot of innovation has come up. The issue of using solar lightings and battery has brought a lot of changes to not only the transport sector, but almost to all facets of the development.
Residents of Maiduguri applauded the government's efforts, describing the move as commendable, and that which will go a long way in ensuring a carbon emission-free environment as the global community struggles with how best to tackle the phenomenon.
Over some years ago, we never have this type of car. So we really appreciate the governor, the excellency about the car.
The car is comfortable and has reduced the cost of transportation for us.
I was like, wow, this is a welcome development. It makes things easy, the cost is cheap compared to the normal keke we used to enter. And I really appreciate this government.
We appreciate His Excellency for this great stride.
Imagine a world where transportation goes beyond traditional petrol-powered vehicles. Maiduguri residents are optimistic that this shift will not only reduce transportation fares, but also contribute to a healthier environment. In Maiduguri, Fatima Issa, NTA News.
The senator representing Abia North Senatorial Zone, Oji Uzo Kalu, has commended President Ahmed Tinubu's commitment towards tackling insecurity in Nigeria. He made the commendation at his hometown while handing over 4 Hilux vans to the Abia State Commissioner of Police to further strengthen security in the zone. Ifoma Ndu Okoli reports.
The increasing wave of insecurity in some parts of Nigeria, especially in the southeast zone, has continued to cause devastating impact on livelihoods, socio-economic and political development of the region. Senator Ojuzo Okalo, while presenting the Hilux vans to the police, described the gesture as a way to further strengthen security in his senatorial zone. While extolling the programs and policies of President Ahmed Bola Tinubu, which he noted are targeted towards nipping insecurity in the bud, Senator Carlo enjoined all to support the efforts of the police in combating crimes and criminality.
President Tinubu is having sleepless nights and fights about crime and in fight of economy. You know, what we say that all over the world, not only in Nigeria, there are crimes everywhere and there is an economic problem.
Abia State Police Commissioner Kenechukwu Onwemelie, while receiving the vehicles, appreciated Senator Carlo for always assisting the Nigerian police, adding that the vans will go a long way in facilitating the delivery of security services in the area.
I want to assure you, Your Excellency, and everybody gathered here, that to the best of our ability and by the grace and enablement that comes from Almighty God, we'll put these facilities to the best use.
One of the 4 Hilux vans was donated to the local vigilante for effective discharge of their duties. In Umuahia, Ifoma Ndu Okolie, NTA News.
The Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, has appointed new executives to oversee the affairs of Union Bank, Keystone Bank, and Polaris Bank. This is following the dissolution of the board and management of the banks. In an earlier press statement by Director Corporate Communications of CBN, Hakama Sidi Ali, the new executives are Yetunde Oni and Manil Ubali Renjim, will serve as Managing Director and Executive Director of Union Bank. Hassan Imam and Chioma Mang will serve as Managing Director and Executive Director of Keystone Bank, while Lawal Mudatil, Omokayode Akintola, and Chris Onyeka Ofikulu will serve as Managing Director and Executive Director of Polaris Bank. The statement says the appointment takes immediate effect. That concludes the news. Thank you for watching. I am Ene Ojonuba. Have a good evening.